Hey guys, welcome to the video about tax, okay? So I've given you a copy of the notes and a copy of the practice work, and the answers or the worked out part of the notes I've also posted on Google Classroom. But I want to go over just a couple of things here before you get started on the lesson. A tax is just a type of a percent, okay? So it's the amount of money that's added to the price of certain goods and services, okay? Similar to a tip, right? Like we've talked in class about if you go out to dinner, the price of the dinner is something, and then your parents calculate a certain percentage of that price that's known as the tip, and then they add it on to the price of the dinner. That is the total bill. So a tax is in some ways similar. So for example, on page 75 of your notes, there's a check, okay? It says that a laptop was purchased at $749. There's a sales tax of 8.25%, and it wants to know what the total cost is, okay? So first of all, the sales tax of 8.25%, let's change that into a decimal, okay? So we know that 8.25% would be the same as that. Do you agree? Because 1/4 is 25 hundredths, okay? Now let's change that into a decimal. So that's going to be this as a decimal, right? And the tax is an amount that's added to the price, but it's amount of the price. So the sales tax is 8.25%, which is this number, of the price, which is $749. And we know that of means multiply, all right? So we're gonna take 825 10,000ths, and we're gonna multiply it by 749, and when I did that, I got $61.79, okay? This is the amount of the sales tax, all right? Now, to get the total cost, what am I gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to add the sales tax to the original price, and that's going to be the total cost of what I have to pay. So if I add $61.79 and I add that to the original price of the laptop, 79 here, it's gonna be a total cost of $810.79, okay? So my laptop was $749. There was a sales tax on the laptop of 8.25%, which I then changed into a decimal. Then I took this percent of the original price, knowing that of means multiply. That gave me the amount of the tax that I then had to add to the original price to get the total cost, okay? If you look at the notes, they also talk about you can set up proportions to figure this out. We haven't talked about proportions yet. If it makes more sense to you as you go through the notes, you're welcome to do that, but this also will work, and this is something that we've talked about before. I want you to specifically look at the problem on page 79, okay? And I'm gonna start you off here, and then I want you to finish it. It says that, let's see, Davitt goes shopping at his local grocery store and buys the items shown in the table. In the city he lives, there is a 7.3% sales tax on all items except food. How much money does he spend at the grocery store? And then it says round to the nearest cent. So a couple things I want to point out. Round to the nearest cent, remember that when we round to the nearest cents, we round to the hundredths place, okay? Remember too, that we always need to change that percent into a decimal before we multiply. So 7.3% is going to be 73 thousandths, right? Okay? And when you look at the table to figure out which items need to be taxed and which do not, remember in the problem they told you that food items do not need to be taxed, okay? I'd like you to do this problem, please. I have posted the answer on Google Classroom. Don't go to the answer yet. I want you to work out the problem. And then I have practice work for you to do that will be due on Friday. All right, thank you for your attention, and we'll do plenty of practice.